cool.
I'm so excited.
It's been since like November because I had the daily thing in December, and I mean, it's been a long time since we've just gotten together to knit chat.
Oh, I've been looking forward to it very much.
Me too.
Yes. Right on. Me three. I'll just say. Cool. You look which shawl is this you have, Jill? Which one are you wearing?
The Cozy Winter.
Right. Cozy Winter. I guess I could have done that. Here I am. I've been in town all day and I didn't even bother changing clothes. But yes, the Cozy Winter Shawl by Melanie Meilinger, if I recall. Mm-hmm. Link is down below.
My first foray into cables, and your videos were fantastic.
And you were so worried about it. But look, it's not as hard as you thought.
No, I like cables. Yeah, I like cables.
Look at you, the little cable sweater knitter.
I do. I like that. Probably not a switch lace, but I do like cables.
Yes. I love cables as well. I do. And where did you get your shawl cuff?
That was a Christmas present from Knitter Friends last Christmas.
Is it the Knox Mountain Company?
This one, Knox Mountain Company, is where I first saw them. This one is not. This one was just one. I don't know where on Etsy that she got.
Okay, right. Yeah, a lot of people have started. I mean, they're easy to find.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
In various. Yeah. Cool. And how are you, Lindsay?
I'm good. Yeah.
Cute new hair.
I have new hair.
You do. It looks darker.
It is much darker. It is.
I like it.
My natural color with just a few little highlights instead of my fake blonde that I've had for 10 years.
I was going to say, I don't know that I've ever known you with your hair this dark.
Yeah, probably
I like it.
I haven't had it. There's just a few little like lighter pieces on my face.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, I have a friend on Instagram, and she was talking about, having to do her roots and stuff, and she's trying to go back to natural. Yeah. So she's just been doing some like henna touch up here and there, but she's trying to like be okay with the gray. And I'm like, oh my word, embrace the gray. You've earned it. You've earned everyone, sister.
I told the girl I've been coloring my hair since I was in 3rd grade. Don't come at me. My mom's a beautician. And
don't come at me.
I don't want to keep coloring my hair every 4 to 6 weeks for the rest of my life.
It's not good for you.
It's not good for your hair. And
it's not good for your skin.
Right. So
Can you spell carcinogen?
Right. So let's go back to the natural and
have
to touch up.
So cute.
Yeah. It's a good cut. Yeah.
Thanks.
It lays
nice.
So nice.
Nice.
It's long too. Look at that.
And I got like probably an inch cut off.
Wow.
You're all sassy.
It's fun.
Nice. You know what's hilarious to me is I've gotten more channel comments when my hair is more sticky uppy. More people comment when my hair is more sticky uppy and disheveled looking. And people say things like, oh, I like the texture, which is code for more disheveled looking. But it's okay.
People work hard to make it do all the.
Yeah,
people do work hard.
Somebody said in town yesterday, somebody said, oh, I really like your hair. And I'm like, I'm rocking the bed head and the gel. Thanks. I had somewhere to be and ran out of time.
Yeah.
See?
It's all right.
No,
it's okay. Yes. So what are you knitting now? Let's talk about Frog It or Finish It. How's that all going for you? Ooh, okay. Oh,
you got it out. You got it out. You got it out. No way. Oh, yes.
Get it out.
Oh.
All right, Lindsay, I'm going to make you big, and I want to see that in slow motion.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited.
I want to see the vertical. No. I have to make you big first, and I want to see the vertical Ken Burns action. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Wait, let's make sure it's right side.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so excited.
So for viewers, this is the Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. And look at the loveliness Lindsay's got going on. I love those. What a great combination.
Oh.
And then this will be my top. This dark gray, black.
Yeah. And
So
what section are you on at the moment?
I'm on section 11.
Ooh.
And I'm on the last part of section 11. I have 14 times of doing rows 1 and 2. I've done 3 times.
Okay. So you really just have one more color to melt in then.
So I have this and then lace and then melt and then done.
Okay. Yep. Awesome.
She will finish
Wonderful.
before I will.
I will not finish before you will.
Unless I start knitting in the right direction. I'm still knitting in the wrong direction.
Jill, okay, do you have yours with you? Can you show yours? And then you can tell about the
gaping hole
incident,
of sadness.
The gaping hole of sadness.
That's what she texted me. She said, here's a picture of the gaping hole of sadness. I don't really remember how to do this.
It'll come back to you.
It will.
Okay.
It will.
Yeah. So you read that while Jill does the Ken Burns vertical slowness, because those colors are amazing as well.
Oh, I know Jill's colors.
You guys have to. Who's Ken Burns?
He's the cinematographer, movie production guy. Anyhow, it's okay. It's a style of video.
It's like a transition style.
Yeah.
Like
so just go like this, real slow, up.
Okay.
And, yeah.
You did I have to figure out where's my right side. Okay, there's my marker. So it's
Oh, that pink.
That light, it's seriously not quite as pink as that light makes it seem.
Woo!
Oh, that pink is look at that.
That's cool. Look at the loveliness. And my favorite part's the gray and I love that.
Oh,
and it keeps going.
And it keeps going.
So much bigger than mine.
Well, remember how I'm a loose knitter? And how when, maybe when we started it, Jana told us to gauge, and I kept thinking, it's a shawl, it's fine.
Shawl.
It's a schlanket.
What size needles did you use?
The ones that the pattern called for. How bad are my eyes? 3.5 millimeters. So 4s.
Okay. Yeah, 4s.
4s.
That's a US 4. Yeah.
A US 4.
Okay. So this is interesting. What?
No, I'm waiting.
Well, now I need to pull up my Ravelry thing real quick. Hold on. Because
she needs to see what needles she's really using.
I know. Okay. For some reason, I remember taking this out of the box and taking the needles that should have been on it off.
Because you needed them for something else.
Yes. And putting a different needle on them.
Just to hold it.
Instead of like stoppers. And when I took that off, so I got it out today, and the ones that were on it were 4s. But on my project page, I wrote that I used 5s.
I think you went
up a size.
You go up a size.
I don't remember.
Because a lot of times you go up a size because you're a tight knitter.
I do go up a size a lot, but
yeah.
And for early,
interesting to me that yours is a 4 and so much bigger than mine.
She's a loose knitter.
I'm such a loose knitter.
And there are a lot of yarn overs, which makes a difference.
And
particularly if you're a loose knitter.
When I'm just looking at my notes to see if I put.
Well, look at that for a second, and just for the benefit of the viewers, all 3 of us started the Find Your Fade shawl last spring, roughly at the same time.
Oh, I wish I had more pictures of it.
And so we all began at the same time. I ended up like screwing up several times and had to restart mine at least twice. But then I finished.
That was so sad.
This one's mine.
When did we start this?
I want to say it was in April.
It was April of 2019.
2020.
Oh, yeah. I just skipped 2020. Sorry.
I mean, right? We should. Yeah.
I'm thinking, because I looked at it yesterday because I was trying to figure out how long it has been a whip. April 24th.
Is when we all cast on and started, roughly.
Yep.
I mean, it was the same week-ish that we all got going on it. Because I remember you sent us like all your numbers. Remember?
Yes, I did.
And for viewers, yeah, she sent us like all the numbers that she'd written out in columns for like, here's how many stitches you should have at the end of this row. Because Jill's really good at keeping track of all that. So she shared that screenshots of her notebook with us. And that was super helpful. I love that. That was super helpful. So you're on track.
I ended up writing it out for the rest of it. It just helped me because I did not get comfortable with the lace until just about the very last lace section. But I will tell you, I can read lace now.
Yeah, you can see when things are messed up and when it's, and that's one thing that, of course, we always talk about and that I'm actually considering doing a class for is how to read your knitting. And there's lots of reasons, obviously, that's important, especially if you end up with the wrong stitch count on a row and you're like, oh dear, where'd I go wrong? Well, you can think back until you find it, but at least you might, if you can read your knitting, you might be able to drop down and fix it, even in lace. Or you might at least know how far you have to think back or rip but that's one thing I was going to ask you now that you're going to show us the gaping hole of sadness. I was going to ask you, rather than tinking back hours and hours, could you not put in a lifeline and then rip it after you put in a lifeline?
Oh,
put in a lifeline below the gaping hole of sadness. Put in a lifeline.
I had a lifeline. Actually, I have one in here right after the lace, right after that. Oh, I spent a week and a half on one lace section. I think I spent 6 hours on the same 4 rows on a very early one. So I put in a lifeline in case I had to rip back. I never thought about that. I should have done that. You have a great video on that.
Well, yeah. And what I mean is, get your darning needle and either some more sock yarn or even lace weight or dental floss that's not waxed. Waxed dental floss is a pain. Don't do that. And go in that garter stitch that's just below the gaping hole of sadness and then tear back to that. And then you can use, then pick up and you won't be dropped any, because we talked about that last night. That was your fear, is not getting them all picked back up properly. But you would know that they're all safe and secure on your lifeline.
Yeah.
And that'd be way faster than tinking 4 rows of 5 rows or however many of 233 stitches each. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's like 1,000 something stitches.
Yeah, it is. Everyone.
Tink, 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 tink.
Now I did it on 4s.
Okay.
Want to know how I found out? I looked through my photos and saw a picture. This is why you should use needles that are all different colors, and saw what color my needles were. And lo and behold, they were the 4 color, not the 5 color.
No way. That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. That's wise.
But look at the difference that your knitting style makes. She's a loose knitter, you're not so much. And,
my yarn is very drapey.
Yeah.
The La Jolla is really drapey.
And being more of a loose knitter when you're creating hundreds and hundreds of yarn overs makes a difference. Right. It's a fantastic pattern. I'm really tempted to do it again. I loved it. But right now I'm doing the fading point, which is equally fade lovely. I just want to know all the fade things. Where is the fading point?
I love it.
Get it out.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
You're gonna wear it like a blanket.
It's just so big.
Well, yours isn't as big, but you just wrap it around.
Even if it's blocked, I get
wrap it around a few times.
I had a sweatshirt on when we were starting. It's 66 degrees in my house, and I'm sweating.
Okay. Well,
I had my slippers on. I had a space heater going.
No.
So my find your fade is done, but can I show you my fading point? Just because I want to show something.
See, and I think I'll be able to do that at some point in time now. Yours is so pretty.
Of course you can do it.
Yeah, but I started and I quit, dude.
Yeah, but that was over a year ago, Jill.
It was way over a year ago.
And you have learned a ton since then. So the fading point is knitted. as I've said a couple of times, but if people are new to the channel, we've had a lot of new subscribers, so I'm going to say it again. The fading point by Joji Locatelli is knitted from each end in toward the middle. So you knit this half in and this half in, and then it's a big rectangle, and then you knit those triangles at the last. And there's a way you pick up, yeah, whatever. But it's a fade, and it's lovely. So here's, I'm going to show you the right side. Here's one of the ends.
It's just so.
And this I do
pretty.
just have on extra needles with a stopper.
pretty.
Like I don't normally knit with these wooden needles, but I had them, and it's just a holder for
Probably
me.
the right size needles too.
But I wouldn't knit with them anyway. It's just holding. So
Yeah.
and it has
fade
the lace section.
So
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh, I think the fade turned out really well. My daughter helped me just pick out stuff out of my stash. And we just laid it out and then kind of rearranged. We're like, no, maybe this one. And we got something else off the shelf. And yeah, I think it turned out really well. I mean, it wasn't like a kit that I bought. I just had different ones in my stash that my daughter helped me put together. And so that's half of it. And then I have the other half going here. See, but obviously I'm not quite there. And I'm not to the triangles, the center triangles yet, but love it.
I'll be excited to hear when you start to do that, when you start to join that.
Yeah.
I am about to get back to this. Yeah, well, we'll talk about whips.
Yay.
So you have your find your fade. You're both working on the fade.
Yes.
And you got to tell what happened with the gaping hole of sadness.
I have 27 rows left. I was all excited. I had it mapped out when I was going to get it done. I was knitting last night, and I have a teenager. And my teenager started to leave. Gaping. My teenager started to leave, and I remembered something that was like super important, at least in my head. That I
wanted to say something. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like out the door, and it was like, oh my gosh, before you go. So I kind of jump up, put the shawl here, run, except that my foot got tangled up in my yarn because I didn't want to make a mess. So I've got my bag, and I have the ball in the bag, and this is here. So I got my foot tangled up in the yarn, and I tripped, and I just thought it was my foot. So I pulled my foot really hard. Didn't think about it, untangled my foot, went talked to my teenager, came back and saw it in a pile and went, oh, I tripped over that. I wonder what it looks like underneath there, because it was in
a heap
right down. And I'm like, oh, when you're pulling it up, like, oh, what does it look like? And yeah, there were stitches kind of, so the needles were like this, and there was stitches just kind of laying there. And so, yeah. So
some stuff dropped.
Some stuff dropped. Well, I just thought, okay, let's get all the stitches on. So I get all the stitches on, and then I find a couple more stitches, and long story, well, the gaping hole of sadness. There's and yeah. So it ended up being like about 22 stitches in various
rows,
forms of whatever. So in the beginning, last night when I texted, or when I messaged about the gaping hole of sadness, because someone needed to feel my pain. I'm sorry. You needed a friend.
We did. And I needed a diversion. I've had a stressful week. So I was like, oh, what can we do? I wanted to Zoom last night. I wanted to reach through the technology and like do it for you.
Fix it for you. I know. I wanted to fix it for her too.
When I'm like, give it. I know how to pick up stitches. And Lindsay says, well, remember, it's garter stitch. So you've got to, do the,
Gosh darn it.
So, yeah. So I tried once last night, and it was pretty late, and yeah, it didn't work out well.
Yeah, fixing late at night is hard. Yeah.
I feel so much better about where I'm at, because it was in one of your videos you talked about what's the worst that happens. If you try to fix it and it doesn't work, you just have to rip back anyway.
You're going to rip back anyway, so why not give it a try? Because that's how you learn. Put in the lifeline first.
So I tried again this morning, and it was after this morning that I realized there's more, because I thought it was just 4 stitches that had gone back 4 rows. but I had sent Lindsay a picture. She's like, well, these are this. And then, yeah, so I'm just.
So then she takes your photo and like circles and marks it up and then sends it back. What about these?
I know. I almost sent you guys a picture of the fix. I'm like, oh, and truly, I would have noticed. I mean, I had all of the stitches secure. It didn't really look good, but I thought if I'm spending this much time, it's worth
doing right. Don't we always say that? It's worth doing it properly. You'll be so much happier, even if you end up ripping back to your lifeline and re-knitting that. You'll know that it's correct. Yeah. And it's a good learning. I mean, try to fix it.
Oh, it was fantastic. I now know if I don't have multiple stitches in a row, I will be able to
weave it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll put the link down below for my video on how to do that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm sorry about the gaping hole of sadness, but we like to knit and it's a good learning thing. Yeah.
It was. And I only have 30 more rows left.
Yay. You're almost done.
I'm almost done. And then I'm going to have to rent a small home so I can block my shawl.
Right?
I just put mine on a quilt on the floor in the guest room and I closed the door so the cats couldn't, wallow on it.
The guest room.
Did you pin it?
Yeah, to the quilt. I mean, I put a thick quilt on the floor and I did pin it on that blanket. Yeah. What else you got going on? What else? What are the whips?
Who?
You.
Show them.
Me? Okay. So I have.
Oh, that's so cute.
And
what's the pattern? What's the pattern of that?
Little hearts.
Little hearts. Okay.
Little hearts. Is it Destiny Miller?
I don't know.
Okay. It's Little Hearts.
Name.
I will send you the link.
That's so
and
cute.
This will be a pom-pom. Yeah. So my daughter likes hats. It is the best gift for a knitter to have. A daughter that likes hats. So that will probably be for like Valentine's Day. I have to take my fade off my lap and I have to be careful.
Are all the stitches secure with like locking stitch markers? I mean, you've got them all.
Yeah. Handled. I have them all. I'm almost done going backwards. I am working on, these are all of my whips. The Gaptastic Cowl.
Yes, the plain.
I've heard that people love that. I have never made it, but I heard people love it.
I have one. This was in the gift drawer. So this is what it is. This one is knit out of Pacific bulky.
That's huge.
It's not that big.
Huh?
In comparison to the fade, it's tiny.
Yeah.
And it's also bulky weight yarn, so it knits up in a minute.
Weight. It does. A lot of people, some people will do double worsted, 2 strands of worsted to do it. I made a mini one for my daughter at one point in time. Yeah, I just like it. I get cold.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep. And then I have the Lovella.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I still have that.
Nice.
So right now, all my focus is on the fade.
Yep. Because you're being monogamous for the moment. Are you doing the 12-hour thing or are you just going to knit that till it's done?
I think I'm going to knit it till it's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to knit it.
So for viewers, we're talking about, I was referring to the Gideon method where you have this 12-hour thing where you commit to that project for 12 hours or until it's finished, or 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is that you personally decide what block of time. And then you put that to the back of the line and bring the next whip forward and work on that for X number of hours or until it's done. And that's how you work through. But I have a number of projects that I'm just going to do till they're done because it needs to be done. And I may or may not make it through all my whips before we start our next knit along. So we'll see. I don't know. but it has clarified some things for me, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So you have the Lovella, the hat to put a pom-pom on, your fade shawl,
and the Gaptastic. That's it.
And what about did you have socks going or not?
I did. I have socks.
And now they're wet. Then it's a FO. It's a fob.
It's a FO. I'm so excited.
Can you tell the viewers about the socks? That was me being snarky.
Imagine that.
About their name?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you know how I knit the one pair of socks, the purple pair? And then I didn't realize that I liked socks, but it turns out I really, really, really liked hand knit socks. Yeah. Like a lot. Like I wore them all the time.
Like she's not kidding, like almost every day.
Oh no, yeah, every day that they were clean. So you could get a couple days and then you'd wash them, then I'd wear them. And that's kind of what I did. And I ended up wearing a hole in the ball.
Right. But in fairness, it wasn't necessarily the yarn's fault because you knitted them very loosely as well. They wouldn't have worn out quite that fast if it had been a more densely knitted fabric.
Yes. So for this next pair, I went down a needle size.
One?
No, did I go down 2? These are on 2.25s.
I think you went down 2.
Okay. And I think knowing these, I could probably stand to go down even one more.
Mm-hmm. But tell us the yarn. It's so cute. Show us again.
The yarn is Happy Feet Splash. Okay. And the light, there we go. If it gets closer, it blows out a little less.
So pretty.
But I decided that I didn't want to wear them out so quickly, so I was only going to wear them on Saturdays.
So they're the Saturday socks.
So they're the Saturday socks. So when it's Saturday, sometimes maybe I take a picture and send it to Lindsay.
Wearing her Saturday socks.
Yeah. So I bet you can't guess what my next project is going to be.
Sunday socks. Imagine that.
Yep.
But you will get to the point where you have a pair every day of the week, and that's fun.
It'd be so nice.
I can wear hand knit socks every day if I want to. If it's cold enough. Yeah. But you know what's the best? Because we live in an old farmhouse and the floors are cold. I have a new pellet stove, yay, but the floors are cold still in the mornings. Is I put on my hand knit socks and then I put on my slippers. Both.
It's like a hug. And I'm happy.
Then I'm happy.
It is. It is. Lindsay, I think, couldn't you wear socks for like 3 days a week now?
Oh. And then you'll have to keep doing it because you'll wear them out eventually, and then you have to then you need to darn them.
I don't wear socks.
Okay.
Then I don't wear shoes that require socks.
What about in the winter?
No. My boots I don't wear socks with. They're fur lined.
Can you take the furry part out and wash it?
How sweaty do you think my feet get?
Well, I don't know. You complain of being sweaty quite often, so I don't know.
Yeah, my feet don't sweat.
She doesn't have stinky feet. Me, I have stinky feet, like horrifically stinky feet. Lindsay doesn't have stinky feet.
I did when I was like going through puberty.
Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe
Lindsay will have stinky feet when she gets to be our age, you think? When she goes, she becomes perimenopausal.
Mature.
I don't know. But
when she's mature, she'll have stinky feet.
Currently, my feet don't stink, and they also don't sweat. And okay, I have this. I hate wearing shoes.
Okay.
Like, I don't drive with shoes on. I hope no cops are watching because I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
It depends what state you're in, but okay.
Well, in this state, I'm pretty sure it's illegal.
She starts with sandals in March.
Uh-huh. When Dairy Queen opens, because we have an outdoor only Dairy Queen. And Like it's like you can't go inside. You have to stand in line outside. So when Dairy Queen opens, that's when I start with sandals, and typically that's like the second or third week of March.
You can't go to Dairy Queen in the winter? You can't stand outside if you want in the winter?
It's old school. It's awesome.
It is.
You know, like we're outdoors and even pre-pandemic, you can't go inside, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway.
So you start with sandals was the point.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I mostly like to work. I mostly wear flats, and I don't wear socks with flats. And all of my shoes can be thrown in the washing machine. I've moved from.
Except your furry boots.
Yeah, but they don't stink. And I don't wear them. I mean, I only wear them if it's like snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or then I have 2 pair of fur-lined moccasins that I wear in the snow, no socks. And then I have flats and another pair of, they're called olakais, and they can all go in the washing machine. So
you don't need to knit a week's worth of socks, probably.
No, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah, it's worth it to me. Yeah. So can I show my socks I
really
finished?
love the feeling of hand knit socks on my feet.
Okay. Note to self, don't knit socks for Lindsay. All right.
Maybe I would like yours better. I feel like I can feel the stitches.
Then you're not knitting them tight enough.
You have like super sensitive skin, and mine wasn't not like, oh my gosh, that's an abomination. That was like, oh my goodness.
No, I think that they're knit plenty tight. It's just I don't like them. They feel weird on my feet.
Okay. So how Amboss I just finished these. And they're fraternal, obviously. They do not match. But see, look how long they are. They don't even fit on the screen.
I feel like they mostly match.
Yeah, they do. Except the heel flap is
the heels are different. And see the toes are, the stripes are not together. I don't care.
Hold them like this and then they match.
Right.
I don't care.
To me, fraternal socks are like one is red and one is blue.
Oh. So this is a Knit Picks Felici. It was just Felici, whatever. This particular, I don't remember what it's called. Grape Gatsby or something was the colorway.
Oh, cute.
But I like these because I have large feet and I have a little bit left over, but I got my whole entire, I wear a women's size 12 and I was able to still get a decent sized leg. They're not just ankle shorties, like these others I showed you a minute ago. These I didn't have quite as much of. These are knit toe up, and that's like pretty much all I had. So difference in yardage. And then the ones I have going right now are also knit picks.
Oh, those are
same.
Cute.
Yeah. And these are for a gift. So yeah, these are just vanilla. Like there's no pattern, just my regular basic cuff down. These are vanilla. These are the vanilla latte where you just knit 6 and then you alternate. Yeah, vanilla latte, but I do them cuff down because I just prefer that. And I've talked about that before. Yeah, so I'm socking along, but I also have a pile. We cleaned my desk. I can't find the other one of these. I can't find them. These are probably 12 years old and I can't find the other one. These need some fixing. These were my daughters, and there's a hole. These are old. There's a hole. Yeah, these need some attention. Actually, there's several holes.
The other thing is, I like it when I wear a hole in my sock to just throw the sock away. Not my knitted socks. That's why I'm saying I don't want to knit socks. I don't mind knitting them. Knitting them is fine. There's so much work involved. I like to take everything from the washer, throw it into the dryer, but I don't want to hang things like socks. Yeah. I would love to be a person who loves hand knit socks.
So what are you knitting besides your fade, Lindsay?
So I haven't been knitting much because I got a Cricut for Christmas and I've been doing other crafts. So I realize this is a knitting podcast, so I won't talk about those other crafts, but
that's what you've been enjoying for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've been doing more of that kind of crafting, but I did bring some of my projects down to show you what I have going. So I have my fade. Have my
Nora's vintage Adkins.
Look at that little pile of blocks.
I know. That's a little pile of love.
Aww. Oh, I love that.
So how many do you have done there? 6, 7, 8,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8 is on a stitch counter. So hopefully I remember what size needles those were. It's going good.
But did you put it on your Ravelry page so you'll know?
I hope. We'll find out when
I hope so.
Knit that again. And then I have this little tunic that I was knitting, but I thought I was knitting a size 2T, and it turns out that this was a size 6 month. So we're gonna have to frog that.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
So the good news is the local yarn store sells this yarn. So I will buy another ball and restart it as a 2T because that's 6 months.
We're past that.
And then I have
oh my gosh, look how far you've gotten on it.
What is it?
So a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
I was just going to say, long ago. I'm visualizing the scrolling sideways.
I bought some hand knitted or hand painted, my very first like fancy yarn.
Right.
And it was Gilmore Girls. This is called Luke, Will You Marry Me? And I knit it into a Reyna. And I wore the Reyna once. And then I put it with my other scarves and never wore it again.
The Reyna Shawl, right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I took the Reyna and I reclaimed my yarn.
You ripped it. Good for you.
I did.
So, and you know what? People will be horrified about that. And they'll be like,
oh, get over
it. But here's the thing. If you had this thing and it wasn't making you, it's not bringing you, it doesn't spark joy. It's not bringing you joy. Why have it in your drawer if you're not going to wear it? You're not going to use it. Why not, like you just said, reclaim that yarn and make something that does spark joy or make you, and I know that sounds super cliche, cheesy and whatever, but still there's no sense in having something you're not going to use. That's ridiculous. And it's a waste of good stuff, you know?
So, I don't remember what pattern I ended up with.
So what are you making now that you're loving?
I do. I remember. Is that the sweater?
Is it City Limits?
It is. It's by Tana.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you can do it, you can wear it either way.
Okay.
Like she wears hers with this side out.
And that's a pullover then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. It's
nice.
And it's easy and it's pretty and the yarn is so pretty.
So tell us what the yarn is. People will ask. You said it was Gilmore Girls.
It is. It's the Yarn at Home Mom who does not die anymore.
Okay.
This is probably 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was an indie dyer that you found that you right. Okay. Mm-hmm. And do you think you have enough yarn to do that now?
No, I don't have enough yarn to do it, but I'm doing it as a fade, which the City Limits is a fade.
Okay. And I haven't looked at the pattern, so I guess I didn't clue in on that. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it will. Yeah.
So what are your other colors you're fading with? Do you have them there?
I have another.
Oh.
This is another Gilmore Girls one that was another project that I took apart.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to end up using the Lovella yarn in it.
Okay.
Because Yeah, because I think that I will wear this more than I will wear the Lovella. I'm sorry, Amber. I love the Lovella, but so I have one of them here.
So that's that wine spill that's kind of burgundy. It looks really dark on the monitor, but it is that it's a wine spill burgundy.
And they both go with this really well.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And they're all DK.
They're all DK, yeah.
Is that going to give you enough, do you think?
That gives me more than enough.
Okay.
Yeah, because each of these are 150.
What? 100? They're 150 yards?
Yeah,
or
no,
grams?
150 grams.
Okay.
And then, so I have 3 that are 150. And then 3 that are 100.
Okay.
And then I have one other color that I can throw in if I need it.
Okay. Yeah, because the gram weight has to do with the breed of sheep and the density of the spin. I know. So I'm just wondering about yardage.
No, I know. Yeah. I've counted all the yardage and I have.
Okay. So you're good. Yeah. Nice.
So
that'll be cool to see you progress with that.
I need to get back into that.
Yeah.
And then I also brought, because we're podcasting, my pretty Christmas yarn.
Oh, you did.
That's so pretty. And it's also Gilmore Girls.
I know it is.
Okay. So tell me about that yarn.
This is Tippy Tree Yarns. And this is called I Smell Snow. And it's fingering superwash merino nylon.
Nice.
Yeah. But did you get the other thing that was in there?
The stitch markers?
Yes. Aren't those food?
Let me see if they're still in here or if I put them upstairs. No, they're still in here.
I know.
So these are Gilmore Girls stitch markers.
Cool.
So they have little like Where You Lead, I Will Follow, Dragonfly Inn, Luke's Coffee, and Omni Apparatus, which you would know if you're a Gilmore Girls fan.
So tell viewers where they can get a hold of those markers.
From Jill for Christmas.
Okay, Jill, tell viewers where they can purchase those markers if they would like to know that.
Is this the name?
A needle runs through it?
Yes, I will double check while we are talking amongst ourselves.
And that's on Etsy, right?
Yes. Yeah, it looks like it's on Etsy.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to show my FOs. I have my sock.
I was going to say, I want to see what you're working on.
So remember Amba challenged me to finish 3 things by the end of the year, and I came close. I didn't quite make the end of the year, but I came close within a few days. So I did finish the clogs that I sent to our friend. So I don't have those to show, but they're on my Ravelry project page if people really wanted to see. They were just the felted clog pattern that I was making for a principal gift, actually, for our high school principal, who's awesome. Shout out to Caroline. So then my socks, that was the other thing that I was challenged to finish. And then the Radvent throw. Now, I did not finish this by New Year's Eve, but I did finish it the following week. And the ends are woven in and all that. So it is truly done. I just need to have a day where it's not blowing 75 miles an hour or snowing where I can take photographs. Because I'd rather take photographs outside, because the light's better. But I am super happy with how this turned out. And so is my daughter, which was the biggest point because it's for her. Let me start on the right corner. So she decided the Advent kit that I used is supposed to be a fade. And so we decided to start here, and it fades from dark to in through these, kind of maroon berry color into the lighter and then into the greens. And so it goes dark to light back to dark. And so we decided when we laid it out to do it kind of diagonally, like here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, diagonally. And so that's what she wanted to do. And we laid it out. She really liked how that was.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So,
man,
right.
Look at that.
You need to knit that into a fade.
You mean, what do you mean?
Like get another kit.
You know what? I tell you, one of them came up on a buy sell swap page, and I saw one. And this is the 2000, for viewers that want to know, this is the 2019 rock paper scissors advent kit from Sunshine Yarns in Boulder, Colorado. And I don't think it, and this year, this last season, it was a re-dye for 2020, because Osman, she'll take a couple of the kits and re-dye them in January. You can pre-order ones that were last year's kit. You can pre-order a re-dye if you liked it after you saw it and you want it again. Well, the only way you're going to get a rock scissors paper kit is if you find one that someone has and they've decided, well, I'm probably never going to get to it, and they're wanting to destash it. So
it's so
anyway, so this is for my daughter to take to college next fall.
A little college hug.
Aww.
I'm not going to be a good empty nester. Anyway, but it's done. So yay.
So pretty.
Yay. I have a lot of things working. I'm not going to make it through my whip pile. However, I started out with like 13, 14 whips. I finished 3. I'm frogging 3. So I'm going to be down to 5 or 6 by the end of the month.
That's
because I'll finish a couple more. It's only the 15th. So I'll probably finish a couple more. I'll be down to 3 or 4 by the end of the month. And that was kind of my goal, was just to get the thing under. I mean, I knew that I wouldn't be done because like my mother's sweater is complicated. However, I just need it down to a manageable 3 or 4 and not 14. You know? So I feel like the Frog It or Finish It challenge will have served its purpose. So
I have yarn.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to see that.
I got yarn. So this.
Do you have your? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh. Where did that come from? That's lovely.
That came from my local yarn store. It was a gift from, I knit with a couple ladies at the Coffee Girls.
The Coffee Girls. Yeah.
And it's Baah yarns. It's Savannah. Savannah
okay.
yarns.
Nice.
They are the same one. I didn't realize that until recently. They're the same ones that do the La Jolla yarn.
Okay.
And that's what I did a lot of my fade from. So it's 80% superwash, 10% or superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon.
MCN. Yep. Merino cashmere nylon.
What's
it going to be? I feel like they always give you like a goal.
It has not told me yet.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
The yarn isn't spoken to her just yet.
Got it.
She's waiting for a message from the yarn gods.
Well, the yarn gods are actually telling me to go back and I have not done it yet. The yarn gods are telling me to go back to the local yarn store and buy the yarn that matches this splash. Because there's 2 skeins there, and that's what the yarn gods.
And then what would you?
I don't know, but it wants to be with its friends.
It does.
You've orphaned it.
It for sure.
You just verbed a noun.
No, I didn't. It's a legit verb. When you say someone has been orphaned, that's legit. That's a legit verb. Look it up. Orphaned.
Okay, I guess that does count. Verbed is not. I verbed a noun.
For viewers, this is an ongoing thing. Like when you verb a noun, for example, my pet peeve is when people say, I was gifted this yarn. No, you were not gifted the yarn. You were given the yarn. Someone gave it to you. To be gifted is like if you have a gifted child. It's an adjective. It is not a verb. You don't gift anything. You give. So I have these little pet peeves, and I really should learn to get over it. Honestly, that's a personal development issue I have, is like getting over it.
So perhaps maybe when we're talking, we might throw in a verbed noun here and
sometimes.
there.
But orphaned, I think, is a legit verb. We'll have to look that up.
I'm sure orphaned is.
Like, I was orphaned when I was 5. Like I wasn't. I'm just using a sentence. I mean, I wasn't really.
But you have to have the modifier. Oh my gosh, this takes me back to diagramming sentences, and I can't remember because without the word was, orphaned isn't really a standalone.
Well, it has a helping verb, right?
Right.
But I said you.
You didn't say was.
No, I didn't. I said you orphaned that skein. Huh. We'll have to look this up. And
I bet that still works. I bet.
Meanwhile, our viewers are going like, "Oh my word!" Click.
Oh, I bet a lot of our viewers had to diagram sentences.
I loved it. I love diagramming sentences. I loved it. It all just made sense to me. And it was so organized. It was like geometry. I loved that too.
I love math, hate geometry. I don't think geometry is math.
Okay, so here's my daughter the other day. She shows me this stuff on a screen, and it's like this, and there's all these equations, and it's a graph, and there's a thing, and there's all these like symbols and stuff, and I walk past, and I'm like, and she goes, "It's a sinusoidal graph."
All right.
Okay, then. You enjoy that. She's all happy. Okay. Brain's exploding. She starts trying to explain it to me, and I'm just like,
right.
And she's like, "You don't get it." I'm like, "No." I'm happy you're happy though. Right. Oh, but I wanted to show you this. I got this because yours reminded me of mine, except it's different, but still reminded me.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's
so this came in the mail the other day with my Wool and Honey sock subscription, my Sleeping Bear Yarn Club sock subscription. And I like that so much because each month is a different indie dyer, right? So it's not always, somebody from anywhere or whatever. They choose each month a different independent dyer. So they're supporting small businesses. They're supporting independent dyers. It's not, you know what I mean? It's all the little people. This one in particular is from Bella Filato Studio Fibers. I'll put the link in the description since clearly I can't say it. This colorway is called Winter Walk. And it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, hand dyed in Traverse City, Michigan, exclusively for Wool and Honey.
Aww, so, Traverse City is gorgeous.
Yes. So, and I did re-upped my Sleeping Bear Yarn Club subscription, and they will be on the podcast, I think, in February. So that's a lot of fun. Ooh, and this is just another example of one that came recently from. I know.
Beautiful.
I can't remember which month this one was. Big Little Yarn Company. This one is Superwash Merino Mohair Sock. So this is 55% Superwash Merino, 25% nylon, 20% mohair. And this is called the Twilight over Lake Leelanau, but it's a lake in the Michigan area.
Leelanau.
Thank you. Okay, great.
Is by Traverse City. That's where my
what she said. Cool. Right. So what's been so cool about this yarn club though is like, I've gotten stuff like this in the mail. Like I live in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. I would never see these. How and where would I ever have a chance to like? But what's cool is that if I saw this in a store, probably I wouldn't buy it. But because it came in the mail, I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Yeah, what can I pair it with? What would I make with this and this together? And like, honestly, this one, it's kind of like peachy, a peachy.
So pretty.
But see, it's really not the color I would never choose. No, it isn't. It's called Space Cadet yarn. However, and this color is called Celeste. 100% superwash merino. However, paired with stuff, I don't know, and that's what I did with my fade. Some of my fade colors, like I would never wear that on its own, but paired with something else, I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, So I think that's what the Yarn Club has done for me, has been like, look at all the possibilities here, right? Things I wouldn't necessarily put together, but then someone else will come and like mix and match some stuff here and, ooh, that's cool. Yeah. I would not buy this, but I might use it with something else. I don't know. So that's been a lot of fun though, is my only point is, okay, and I love this one. I love this one.
That's pretty.
It's like green and anyway, I could go on all day about the stuff, but there you go. Yeah, so I indulged a little bit at the end of the year. So I re-upped with the Sleeping Bear Yarn Club, woolandhoney.com. I'll put the link to that down below. Yeah, and then I splurged a little with some independent dyers that were on the channel in December. Because how can you not?
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, it really was. It was a ton of fun to meet them all, and it's been a lot of support them a little bit too. So, well, thanks for the chat.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, we'll have to do it a little more often now. I think that we're all getting back in the groove, and 2021 is promising to be more kind. Cool. All right. Well, I'll catch you next time.
Yay. Okay. Thanks, everybody.